Hello and welcome to Crayoligraphy Camp. My name is Lisa Funk and I am from Hand Lettered Design. I am a lettering instructor and I'm so excited today to teach you some lettering tips. As we get started, if you want to just leave in the comments where you are joining us from, I love seeing where everyone is coming in from. So leave that in the comments. And also, if you have any questions as we go throughout the lesson today, feel free to leave those questions in the comments, as well as any ideas that you might have for future videos. We love to know what you'd be interested in learning about. So basically, any ideas or suggestions or questions, leave them in the comments. The Crayola team will be here helping me answer those, since I'm gonna have my camera flipped around for a good portion of this so that you can see the lettering yourself. They will be helping me get to all of those questions and comments. So I'm really excited to be here with you. Today we are going to be covering how to create block lettering that looks amazing. Now, when I was trying to do block lettering back in junior high and high school, I tried to do kind of the bubble letters, which I'm gonna kind of go over. And then I learned a much better way that just works so well and it creates beautiful, consistent block lettering. Today, the product that we're gonna be using are these metallic outline markers. If you have not tried these yet, you have got to get some. They work like magic. It's so fun to see the ink come out every single time. So they come with all of these colors. So you're gonna pick a color, any color. And the first thing that you wanna do is make sure that you shake it for about 20 seconds, which I already did before we started. So this one's ready. And then once you've shaken it, with the lid on, you take the lid off and you pump it onto the paper until the ink flows, and then you can start lettering. So I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see my paper, and I'm going to show you how to create block lettering that looks great. So you're gonna see my ceiling for a second as I come here and turn it around. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So the way that I used to try to do block lettering when I was like in junior high and high school was, I would kind of try to do an outline and then maybe fill it in. And let's just say this did not exactly create the nice type of bold lettering that I really wanted to. So what you want to do instead is to write your letters. Do you guys see this? How there's this kind of outline that's just naturally happening with the blue and then the silver on the inside. Isn't that so pretty? And so what you want to do instead is write your letter nice and big, and then you're going to come back and thicken it. So you're going to come kind of draw a line next to each stroke, and you're going to just thicken it like that. So now I'm going to come here and thicken this part, and you can see how this incredible marker still keeps the blue outline on the outside. Okay, now we're going to do a B. The trick with this technique is that you want to make sure you leave enough space to thicken. So as you can see, I want these to be about the same height, and so I'm going to be doing my thickening of the B on the inside, but I needed to make sure that I left enough space in order to do that. So I'm going to thicken this stroke by just coming right down next to it. Then I'm going to thicken these strokes by just coming right next to them. And it seems pretty simple, but I'm telling you, it makes a huge difference. So when I'm doing my C, again, I want to keep a similar height to the other letters. And the way that I'm going to do that is by starting it out at the same height and then thickening it on the inside. So make sure that that's what you do. And you can always come back, and if you need to, you can go back to your scratch paper and kind of pump your ink out a little bit. So for the D, again, I want the height to stay similar to these heights. And so then I'm going to come on the inside in order to thicken it. And once you get used to doing it this way, you'll never go back to doing your other, bubble letters, block letters ever again. I can promise you that. So this is how we're going to do it. And if you want to make sure that you keep the same height for all your letters, you can use rulers and you can use pencil lines that later you can always go back and erase. I just pumped the ink a little, so it's coming out a little bit faster there. Come down and over. And so if you wanted to, like I said, you can always come back with and erase your pencil lines afterwards. If you wanted to make sure that you have those just right, that's a really great way to go. But writing your letters out first like this is so much better. So let me show you. Let's write the word happy. I'm gonna pump it. If you notice that the ink kind of is slowing down a little, you just come over to your scratch paper and pump it a little bit. So I'm gonna start my lettering like this, just all single line before I come back to thicken it, because I want it to be about the same height and size. And so I'm coming like this, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm just gonna thicken to the sides. And I know you can't see super close, but man, it really is so cool how the metallic stays on the inside and the blue stays along the outside. So pretty. These would make these would be a beautiful tool to use for making cards for people, making a fun little sign for someone, doing a design for your house. And again, it's so cool. You can just keep thickening and the pen just knows. It knows what's on the outside and what's not. And it keeps that metallic, beautiful metallic color, that silver on the inside, and it keeps that blue on the outside. So you can see how I just came and just thicken up those letters. So you just want to make sure that you leave enough space in between, and also when you have a letter like an A or a B or a D where there's, you know, that space in the middle, you don't want to do it too small. Like if I did it too small like this, it would be really hard for me to thicken in here because I didn't leave enough space. So the other thing you could do is to go on the outside, but then you just want to make sure that all your letters are going to line up. So in general, I recommend writing your letters first to the same height that you want them to be, and then coming back and thickening them like I did here with happy. And you can always use some rulers, some ruler lines if you want to make sure that everything lines up. I kind of like to just wing it, but you know, do whatever works best for you, and know that it's gonna look so much better to create block lettering when you start with some nice big letters and then come back and thicken them. All right, I've got you switched around here. Again, I hope you had fun doing this along with me. If you were writing happy, you could put anything underneath it. You could put happy birthday, you could do, you know, happy graduation. So if you practice writing that with me, that was a great start for a lot of different cards or signs that you could make. And I hope that you had a lot of fun with me. If you try this out, make sure to post it on social media and use the hashtag Crayoligraphy. And if you're looking for any of these products, you can find them at Crayola.com along with some other tips and ideas. And if you're interested in learning more lettering or more lettering tips from me, you can find me over at handlettereddesign.com or on Facebook or Instagram. My username is Hand Lettered Design. It's been so fun to be with you today and to teach you how to create block lettering that actually looks good. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you again soon.